Good afternoon, subscribers and viewers. I hope I find you well. You're having a wonderful Friday where you are preparing for a very wonderful weekend. My name is Mpolisi Ngobe. I'm going to talk here about a message which is circulating on social media about waivers for those who are applying for to move from the Zimbabwe exemption permit to the mainstream South African permits, especially the general work visa and critical skills visa. So there is a message that is circulating stating that there will be the people who don't apply for a waiver by the 31st of March 2022 will be declared undesirable. So before I clarify that, may I please request that you subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share it so that those who may be or maybe have come across this particular message, I will read it, then I will read the counter message so that those who may have encountered that particular message or those who are likely to come across it will be informed and not misled, because this message has been circulating for about 3 months now. No, not 3 months, for about 2 months or a month now. And people keep on asking about it, on how far true it is. So I'm going to read this message, then I'm going to read the counter message. The message I'm talking about it reads, "Good evening, dear members. We now have Immigration Directive number 12 of 2021. I would like to encourage all of you without or with professional qualifications, etc., who would want to apply for a general work permit later, to apply for a waiver within the next 9 days, and Department of Home Affairs has said they will process your waivers applications before 31 March 2022. If your waiver application is successful and granted, you will be able to apply for a general work permit without a need to have documentations required like certificates, SACA documentation, police clearance, newspapers, adverts, etc. They will only then need your employer's letter, valid passport, and COVID vaccination certificate to apply for a general work permit when your waiver application is successful." Then it goes on to say, what is a waiver? It is an application made in South Africa and adjusted by the Department of Home Affairs. In order to apply for a waiver, the applicant must be in possession of a valid refugee or immigration status, e.g. a valid ZEP permit, and not an expired one. The minister yesterday issued Directive number 12 of 2021, and he said he will need until 31 March 2022 to make outcomes for all waivers applied for. And anyone who doesn't have a waiver or general work permit application by 1 April 2022 will be described as undesirable and will have to 31 December 2022 to pack bags and kids and return to Zimbabwe without being formally charged at the border or legal port of entry to avoid being deported. So this is the message that I'm talking about. So what's happening is that this message has been doctored. There is a message which speaks to almost something similar, which was posted on the Home Affairs website, but this one here has been doctored to try and dupe those who are applying to move from the Zimbabwe exemption permit to other permits into paying some kind of money to this kind of a person who's then promising to, in a way, help them apply for these waivers. So I would like to tell you that ignore this message. Do not even entertain it, because in terms of applying for a waiver, as we have stated before, what you need to do is you must first qualify for the general work permit or any permit that you want to apply for. Only then can you then apply for that particular permit and satisfy all the requirements as is stated in the South African immigration law. If you know that you do not qualify for any permit, please do not pay people, because they will only take your money and dump you. So only if you know that you qualify for a particular permit should you then move ahead and apply. And in applying, you don't need to apply for a waiver if you are moving from the Zimbabwe exemption permit to the mainstream South African permits. What you need to do is you need to apply. Then after you apply and you satisfy those requirements that are given, there may be some other additional documents or additional uh, procedures that you need to satisfy, which then, because maybe because of your work schedule or because you already are working in South Africa, you therefore do not need to apply to produce an advert. You do not need to produce an interview record or something like that, which may, in the event of a normal general permit, be needed. So only then can you then apply for a waiver so that these can be disregarded. You don't apply for a waiver at the point of applying for a general work visa or a critical skills visa. So you don't need to apply for a waiver at your first time you apply. You first apply for the permit that you qualify for, and then after that, you'll be told that you need to satisfy these other documents, which then either you or your company will have to write to say that we are now applying for a waiver because of these particular circumstances, and it's got nothing to do with qualifications. So if you know that you don't qualify for any permit, don't waste your time, don't waste your effort, and don't waste your money. So I'll go now to the Immigration Directive number 12, which this mischievous person quoted in their falsified message. Immigration Directive number 12 of 2021, it speaks to temporary measures in respect of foreign nationals in light of the imposition of travel bans. Immigration Directive number 12 of 2021, temporary measures in respect of foreign nationals in light of the imposition of travel bans in an unprecedented attempt to curb the spread of the Omicron variant of the COVID-19 virus. As the international community has taken a decision to close their borders, airlines have restricted flights to several destinations, and His Excellency President MC Ramaphosa's call on 27 November 2021 to lift these travel bans have been met with golden silence. I, in my capacity as Minister of Home Affairs, have had to introduce some temporary measures on all foreign nationals who need to enter the Republic of South Africa or who have already entered the Republic and are awaiting the outcome of waiver and visa applications, or those who cannot return to their respective countries on embarkation due to travel bans and whose visas have expired or are due to expire. The following temporary measures will apply with immediate effect. Number one, which is A, applicants whose waiver application outcomes are still pending. Foreign nationals whose waiver applications are still pending are hereby granted a blanket temporary extension until 31 March 2022 in order for the department to process these applications and for applicants to collect their outcomes and submit applications for appropriate temporary residence visas. Applicants who wish to abandon their waiver applications and depart the country when able to do so will be allowed to exit at a port of entry before or on 31 March 2022 without being declared undesirable. B, applicants whose visa applications are still pending. Foreign nationals who are awaiting the outcome of visa applications are granted a blanket temporary extension until March 31, 2022 of the current visa status. Those who wish to abandon their visa applications and depart from the country when able to do so will be allowed to exit at a port of entry before or on 31 March 2022 without being declared undesirable. Applicants are not allowed to engage in any activity other than the visa conditions provide for. Applicants with pending long-term visa applications who originate from countries that are exempt from port of entry visa requirements and who wish to travel over the festive season may do so by presenting their VFS receipts on arrival back at the port of entry for admission purposes and to collect their visa outcomes. However, Those applicants with pending long-term visa applications who originate from countries that are visa restricted would require a port of entry visa and their VFS receipt in order to be readmitted at a port of entry. C. Visitors visas. Foreign nationals who have been legally admitted through a port of entry with effect from 1 October 2021 when the country moved to alert level 1, whose visas have expired or is due to expire and were affected by the international travel bans are granted a blanket temporary extension valid until 31 March 2022 in order to depart from the country without being declared undesirable. The last one, D, permanent residence permit holders. In order to accommodate foreign nationals who have been granted permanent residence status but who are either unable to enter the Republic before or on 31 December 2021, as per my previous temporary blanket concession, are granted a blanket temporary extension until 31 July 2022. My reason for granting this category of persons until 31 July 2022 to enter the Republic is to accommodate persons who have school-going children whose academic calendar runs from July to June. The temporary measures mentioned in paragraphs A to D above will apply only to foreign nationals who have been legally admitted into the Republic. Any further extension or modification or amendments to the terms of these concessions will be communicated in writing. This immigration directive follows Immigration Directive number 11 of 2021, which deals with exemption permit holders, ZEP withdrawal. So this message that I've just read now is the one that was bastardized by the one that I read first, which has been circulating by and is being circulated by people who just want to dupe you of your money, because the Immigration Directive number 12 does not apply to those who hold the Zimbabwe exemption permit and are trying to move to the next South African permit that they believe they qualified for. So please do not run around following these unscrupulous people. Whenever they quote Home Affairs, please go to the Home Affairs website. Their website, their web address is www.dha.gov, which is gov.za. www.dha.gov.za. Don't just follow these people who are just out there to get your money so easily. Thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend. Meet you probably early next week.